I'm laughing at y'all niggas. Yeah. Give it to me now. Y'all niggas real funny. Money Mafia taking over. Yeah. We clocking. I'm your first lady riding that black Mercedes. Set up your nigga, got him saying I'm that first lady. Baby, your mouth is sassy. With a raging dirty sauce. That's soft like baking soda. I hit you with arm and hammer. I'm a boss, bitch. You talk shit, I walk it. AK, what nigga with the full clip? Things you dream about, I already did it. From the streets to cul-de-sacs, from dimes to pound bags. I'm bragging, but these are facts. I said, your head bobbing, I'm back. Man, you're robbing, I got these trucks knocking. I'm rolling that purple stuff and drinking that Grey Goose. I roll up to the club, buy 20 or more. Now, if you looking for that work, my nigga, we got it. Posted on the block. What's up? What's up? Welcome to Thursday Night Live. What up? Taking time to appreciate y'all for pulling up. We're going to be here for a good time, not a long time, because I've had a hard work day today. They got the butter out the duck today. Drop what y'all eating and drinking in the chats. I came home, and I had what's called a Big Mac salad. Before you judge me, don't judge me. I don't eat McDonald's, but I ain't going to lie. I did like the Big Mac when I did. So I had my son. I told him what I wanted. So he ground me some beef, and we got lettuce, spinach, ground beef on top. If you know about Wickles Pickles, you know what you know. If you don't know, try some Wickles Pickles. We got Wickles Pickles. We made that special sauce, which is our salad dressing, which is basically 1,000 onions and bacon in them. And we had a fried egg on top for the protein. You know, trying to keep it tried to keep it a little healthy, but I wanted the best of both worlds. So that's what we got here. And I'm sipping on my banana peel tea that I make. This banana peels, bay leaves, cinnamon, and cloves. Good for you. And make you sleep good too. So sipping on that. So I want to pick up where we left out there on my last live. We was talking about the law and what happened with Ms. Johnson and all that. So the newest update is that the lower courts filed a stay. Now, that's just excuse me for smacking in y'all ear. Sorry. As someone that has their own legal woes, that had their own legal woes, I went and started looking up what a stay is. You know what it mean when they go to this court, what it mean to go to that court, and things of that nature, because I'm noticing I'm online, and I'm seeing folks use the word stay in the incorrect manner in this case. Now, we do know she's going to stay in jail, but when they say they filed a stay, it means that too in it per se, but it really is a term called stay. So I'm going to go through my notes that I looked up so I can break it down so people will understand, you know, what's going on. So we'll start with what an appellate court, even though it's in the name. What up, Miss Barbara? Even though appellate court appeal is in the name, but I'm going to go ahead and break it down. It says, the question I asked Google, like I say, you know, I'm not an attorney. Y'all know, Miss Barbara, I'll go give you a shout out too. But, you know, I got to wait till I read and see and read, you feel me? So shout out to Miss Barbara, though. She did drop the knowledge on Tuesday. So I went to Google, and it says, when the appellate court overturns a decision. So that's why I started this from. An appellate court overturns a lower court decision when it finds significant reversible error, a legal mistake that affects the case's outcome, or an abuse of discretion. Reversal often results in the case being reprimanded, which means sent back to the lower court for a new trial, a modified judgment, or further proceedings. It says following reasons for overturning the decision. Error of law. The judge misinterpreted the law, applied the wrong legal standard, or gave incorrect jury instructions. That's one. Abuse of discretion. The trial judge made an unreasonable, arbitrary, or unsupportable decision. And then it got e.g. improperly excluding evidence. What up, taking time to? It says, sounds good. Like, I like a Big Mac too. I went to Mars today, brought me 2 dinners, and went to Circle K and got the root beer. Yeah, Circle K. I love me some Circle K. Procedural error. No, it's an insufficient evidence. The evidence presented at trial does not legally support the verdict. Procedural errors, substantial errors in the trial conduct that violated due process. And this is what happens after reversal. Remanded. The case is sent back to the lower court to fix the error, often resulting in a new trial. Reverse and render. The appellate court overturns the decision and enters the correct judgment itself, avoiding a new trial, or vacate. The lower court's decision is declared invalid. Now, with them doing a stay, I had to go look up what the hell is a stay, because I'm hearing it. I haven't heard it before myself, but I was like, what do they mean by stay? I know she gonna stay in jail, but that's not what that stay means. So I'm trying to go to my here we go. I looked it up. It says when a lower court orders a stay. Now in Cordasia judge, she gonna stay in jail until or stay in jail. So it's one of the other. Either she gonna stay in jail or until. By the way, she gonna do stay in jail. Preferably stay in jail because you are menace to society. When a lower court orders a stay, it suspends or pauses further proceedings, a execution of a judgment, or specific actions related to the case during the appeal. The effectivity freezes the status quo, ensuring the judgment is not enforced while the appellate court reviews the case. A stay often requires a bond, particularly for monetary judgments. So, what we have here is a stay. Yeah, she's going to stay in jail, but that's not what this stay means. It has its own meaning other than stay in jail. Okay, pause in proceedings. The immediate enforcement of a judgment is halted. It says read the filing. It's online in the I'm not gonna read it online. I just don't, it's something about the pay. I just don't, I'm gonna actually put my own paperwork for my own case is inside of my description box. So if I'm gonna post some papers, it'll be for my own case. So preservation of status quo. The state acts as a temporary. I am gonna read it on my own though, Ms. Barbara. The state acts as a temporary freeze until the appeal is heard, preventing irreversible actions. So obviously they put a state in place because once the young lady is out, they can't be like, oh, you got to come back after you drop that baby. That don't work that way. That don't work that way at all. Once that person is released on pretrial, they stay out until it's time for trial. You feel me? So that's why they put a hold in place. So once they push that button and the doors come open, sis can be out here doing whatever. Not limited to getting pregnant again. So duration stays are usually temporary, lasting until the higher court reach a decision. So what they're playing is ping pong. And a lot of folks got to understand the judicial system. So the ping pong game they playing here is the appellate court said, hey, we want this mess off our desk. We gonna go ahead and rule in your favor. We gonna send it back to these people. These people like, cause see, if I let you out, we gonna have a problem. If we let you stay, it's a problem. You see what they did? He said they didn't mean put it up. Nah, Barbara, I got it. What I'm saying is, what was I saying? What this Chicago is doing is because of whatever happened in the past when women being shackled while pregnant, they don't want that kind of smoke. And then they also don't want the smoke of releasing this heifer to the streets. So they're like, hey, we're going to bounce this thing back and forth. And then hopefully next they'll send that thing up to the feds. And then that's when, to me, what all the smoke gonna get started. Like send it on up to the Supreme Court. But each state has its own Supreme Court as well. So, but the Supreme Court is the highest of the court. So that's what a state is. I had to go look it up myself because I heard how people was using it. I was like, that don't sound too good. It sounds good, that the girl staying in jail, but then, the way people are using the word stay, it was just like, let me see exactly what that meant for myself. So I have my own case that I had to go to the Court of Appeals in the state of Georgia. And I got the link in the description for you all to read it. And I'm going over this before I go into my actual topic. I was on probation here in the state of Georgia for my shenanigans when I was outside razzling and dazzling. And I pleaded to 10 years of probation because I was like, ooh, prison, I don't know. Oh, no. Can I do my time at home? And the answer was yes. So I pleaded guilty to 10 years of probation, and 4 years through the probation, they took me off and asked to be took off. State of Georgia. What up, Terry? Appreciate you for pulling up. Tell me, Barbara, unless I get it as a content creator, Miss Barbara, I cannot repeat news that don't come from a credible source. You cool though. You very cool. I appreciate you, but it got to come from a credible source, which is the news. Because the news put it out there, that's it. Or if somebody posts some paperwork. So until that happens, I can't go out anybody work. What up, Freddie? But I appreciate you, Miss Barbara, because you are correct. I'm gonna give you your one. You was correct. They filed a stay. But back to my case, they took me off and I hurried up and did my paperwork. I did my expungement, reinstating my human rights so I can go back and purchase guns. I did all that stuff in one day. So when I called the Department of Corrections, I was trying to get my electrical license at the time. And I called because I'm trying to get a letter saying that I'm in good standings. Even though I really wasn't, because I hadn't had the money to pay, but I was reporting. So later, like, what probation? I'm like, shoot, what you mean what probation? So I went and did all my paperwork. Yeah, I get it, Miss Barbara, but still, when you a content creator, you put out some misinformation, you can get sued, and that's that. Like I know you got game. I know you old enough, but as a content creator, if I put out misinformation and it's wrong, and somebody want to take me to court because that's what's going on right about now, I can get sued. So if I quote Tia you and then she wrong, they can go back and talk to her. They can know why I got it from. But in this case, I actually physically saw some paperwork that had, I read a little bit of something, and I'm like, cool. So basically, I did all that, and about 6-8 months later, the state of Georgia like, hey, we made a mistake. We weren't supposed to take you off probation. And I was like, I done cleared my background sealed. I done moved on about my life. So basically what they did was they tried to put me back on probation. So I was getting harassed by different probation officers to the point they was pulling up to my this when my mom was alive. They were surrounding my house with my mom. Yes, the Fulton County came out here to fed me. And surrounded the house. They just came out here and surrounded the house, and I was like, damn. So it started getting real wicked and real wild. And my attorney called me. She was like, when did you get out probation? I told her. She said, yeah, because they're trying to put you back on probation, and that's illegal. That's called double jeopardy. So they kept trying to reach out to me. The probation officer, I'm finna come to your job. You finna go do this, that, and third. I said, hey, I ain't got to do nothing because you ain't my probation officer, and I'm not on probation. So they kept trying to serve me, and I finally secured my attorney. And a lot of people gotta understand these attorneys cost money. It was not free. This whole ordeal cost me $5,000. So they started trying to show up to where I was working at. And I told them, hey, good luck on serving me. They're like, hey, we're just gonna put a warrant out. And I ended up getting them to serve my attorney. And I go to court. Y'all keep talking about these female judges and all this kind of stuff. I went to Fulton County Court in Atlanta. A black female judge looked me dead in my eyes and resentenced me and put me back on probation. She's resentenced me for everything I did, put me back on probation. And my attorney was upset. She was like, you don't understand what this just did for the judicial system in general. This means if this stays, that anybody that they feel like and they want to drag back in here and resentence and send them back to prison or whatever, they can do it. So your case is important. We cannot let double jeopardy go down here. So we had to go to the appellate court, and it was a long drawn out ordeal. They put me back on probation. This was during the time my parents was passing away from cancer, and they started requiring these payments. I was like, listen, I'm a caregiver now. I can't work. I don't know what to tell you. And I never forget this. This was the supervisor that made the error. He was a really, really old white man. And he was like, well, just put your mama away. And I like, put her away. Yeah, because you're going to have to go to work or you're going to go to jail. I said, you can't lock me up because this is illegal. Like, I can sue y'all. Like, do you realize I can sue you? And he could say, just put her away, sell your car, do this. Then I'm like, nah, I ain't putting my mama away. What up, Lou? Appreciate you pulling up. And I said, sir, I said, have you put your mama in a nursing home before? And he looked at me and started crying. I said, I'm not putting my mama in a nursing home, and y'all not gonna lock me up, and y'all not gonna harass me neither. All I got is $20. So he made me sign the paper. First of all, he let me type up the contract, which was crazy. This man let me type up my own contract in his office, and me and him signed it. And from there, they tried to send my case to the county I live in. They didn't want it. The man said, hey, we heard about you. I don't want to touch you. I'm not touching you. I'm not bothering you. I heard about both your parents being sick. I'm sorry. I'm not going to call you. Don't call me. Don't report. I'm going to leave you alone. They kicked it back to Fulton. I called in the office and the lady said, listen, not one probation officer wants your case in this office. We ain't trying to touch you because this is illegal. Nobody wanted to touch me in that office. That lady said, listen, I'm going to leave you alone. She said, because I don't know what it like to have two parents with counsel at the same time. I'm going to leave you alone. These people left me alone. My attorney fought the case. And bam, it's 11 pages. And they use case law to overturn it because it is double jeopardy. So a lot of people don't have any compassion. No, they don't. Man, Miss Barbara, that white man looked at me and said, put your mama away. And I was like, but no. And you ain't gonna lock me up, and I'm not gonna put her away. And he was upset that he made it. He said, why you didn't tell me? I was like, anybody tell you to take me out probation? I didn't ask. I didn't know y'all took me off. I just checked and saw I was off. It's a random. I decided I was gonna try to get my electrical license, and that's how I found out I was on probation. If I had never checked, thank God. Gotta get the Lord some praise. I had been praying all that year to get out probation, and they made this error. So courts do make errors because we're dealing with a human error. So in the case of Miss Cordasia, yeah, they filed a stay. It's gonna ping pong back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Once the Supreme Court, whether the state Supreme Court or the federal, if they don't like the decision of the state Supreme Court, they can bounce that thing to federal, and that's when I'm gonna go ahead and say that's when this shit gonna hit the fan. Keep on trying to get that little half out of jail and fed county. So a lot of white people don't have compassion. No, they don't. So that's that for the legal juncture of there. They filed a stay. That does mean the heifer stay in jail, but also there's a different meaning to the stay. That means that they stop, pause, halt, whatever decision the appellate court said. So it's not just, yay, she come home. He said, if it's going to be, and they been there, Freddie. Because somebody want to get out of jail because they pregnant. Let them. Shoot, take it to, I want them to take it not to the state Supreme Court, take it to the federal, take it all the way to the top. Do it. Start so they can start, go somewhere and sit down. Because I don't see the point of celebrating. I don't see the point of celebrating. I'm just gonna be honest with you. When it comes down to people that used to be in the streets like myself, and if you want to go read my court documents, have at it. We don't care. I'm gonna tell you this: we don't care. We don't care if you in the jail or if you step out there more. But either way, it's not a good day for you. If you do something disegregious that this young lady has done and got online, unremorseful, taunting the family, doing all that, and you actually think you safe leaving the jail, you more safer in the jail than you are outside the jail. But they'll find out. You know, they'll find out. Please understand the game that the judicial system is playing. Don't nobody want to get sued. They tried, what Big Barbara say? They tried to make her like she's not really guilty when she's a cold-blooded killer. Well, Big Barbara, that's why the title of my show is Victim Mentality. That's why I wrote it. Because it's behooving to me to walk the planet with people that do all kind of stuff. And then when you clap back, they become a victim. And that's basically what this young lady did. She did all this poking at this girl online. They done set her up with the fake accounts and all this kind of weird stuff. And then when they finally meet, she like, oh, this is my chance. And then after she do it, she turned around and be like, oh, no, she was stalking me. Baby, this looks weird. You don't live in Chicago. You at the girl, you across the street from the girl's son's school. You don't live here. Like, that's the victim mentality. Evil people do that. So, what up, mid-80s? Summer mommy, what's good? What's good? I appreciate y'all for pulling up tonight. Drop what y'all eating and drinking in the chats. And we're going to get into my show. It says tonight, I'm asking a dangerous question. Do some people secretly enjoy being victims? I'm going to say it again. Do some people secretly enjoy being victims? Not pain itself, but the sympathy, the excuses, the attention, the control. If you notice this case, majority of it's crazy because we got both this same personality type on both sides of the fence. You said McDonald's. Laugh like, yes, summer mommy, a McDonald's, a Big Mac salad. Hey, listen, summer mommy. I know them burgers ain't real at McDonald's. There ain't no way they selling 7 million burgers a day, and we ain't got that many cows. We ain't got that many cows out here, and I know it take a minute for a cow to get big. So not McDonald's. We not. I'm not going. He said, yeah, they enjoy it, and it's disgusting. Yeah. So you drinking water midnight Eve. I'm about to be drinking some in a minute too. So what I'm seeing is people that invoke someone for a reaction, and then when they get a reaction, they become a victim. And that's what happened with we gonna say Ramika with the girls bamming down on the hood. You can't be in danger and you go into the person and bam down on their hood. She invoked a reaction. And then when Ramika gave the reaction, because I mean, I beat your behind too if you went and bam down on the hood of my car. We're gonna be honest here. When Ramika gave her the reaction, she go, oh no, I fear for my life. And that's what we're talking about today is victim mentality. Do people secretly enjoy being victims? Yes, being a victim is a very addictive. And actually, boy, Ma, appreciate you. You had tomato soup and cheese toast. Man, Barbara, that sounds like a good snack right there. You say you making your rounds. I appreciate you, Ashley Boy Mom, for pulling up. And you ate a tomato soup. And I don't know if it's hot out there with you, man, Bob. I know it's hot here in Georgia. Um, because some people heal and some people stay hurt because hurt pays. Now, I look at people that immediately come to me as a victim. I'm skeptical. And I'm gonna tell you why. Now, all of us, nobody leaves this planet unscathed, but you got to learn from your past. I learned from my baby daddy and people that I dated that was similar to him. Everybody that I dated that had this immediate victim, life is whooping my ass, and my mama did my daddy did this, this happened to me, that happened to me, this happened to me, that happened to me, mentality, and not, playing themselves like everything is just all bad and they just this feeble person. Nah, you're lying. I think somebody that immediately comes off as a victim is a liar. You say it's been hot there since February. Snap. Now, me Barbara, we've been getting bouncing back and forth. Well, he said, I'm not gonna say, how old was you when you had to do some time like that in Georgia? I think I was 20. I did my foolishness at 23 and got convicted at 29. So I'm just kind of clearing. I'm just now clearing that era up in my life. Whenever you make a dumb decision like that, it take about 10 years to fix it. And the person's name is I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say it. I thought he said I'm not gonna say shit. That's why I'm trying not to say it. He said I'm not gonna say it. Yeah, I was about in my 20s. Mid 20, late 20s. It says, what did you do? He said, I'm not gonna say what did you do? I hit a lick with a pen. I mean, it wasn't my normal thing to do. I was into pharmaceuticals before then. But I decided that, maybe I should try doing something with the pen. And I got outside of my lane, and that's how I got caught. But you know what? It was for the good because it made me sit down. And I didn't realize, and the crazy part is I did it before my son was born, but went to jail after he got here. So yeah, it made me want to sit down somewhere because they were trying to give me 30 years behind that pen. Like they ain't playing. They ain't playing about robbing folk with a pen. Don't do it. Okay, so someone harmed you unfairly. Someone said stays powerless and blames forever. Now I'm gonna tell you, a lot of the folk that has the victim mentality, something really did happen to them, but it like you can't play that your whole life. Like a lot of people you meet, they got wounded as a child, and they've been rocking that. A lot of people that come off as victims get a lot of sympathy, a lot of help, a lot of people bend over backwards for them. And it gets crazy to me, and it might be ego for me. I don't want to be perceived as weak or a victim. So if I get hurt, I ain't finna just wear it on my sleeve every day as a badge of honor. But I'm very leery of people that do that because typically they liars. Typically they the villain. And also a lot of times they flip the story. The story is they tell the story like somebody did it to them when they actually are the person that's doing it. So you do have to be careful with these folks out here running around here claiming that they victims, i.e., Miss Johnson. Like you've been the villain the whole time. It just the victim you paying woe is me. And the courts really ain't hearing it. They just don't want to be sued. And that's what I got to say. The courts ain't trying to be sued. It said, hey, someone said, listen, Dunn, we got to do a lie together. I'ma just he said we gotta do a lie together, laugh my ass off. My first offer was 50 years, second offer 30 years, and no, they don't play about them pens and pads. Now, man, so money, I was shoot, mine was state Rico. I was, I was like, I did all that. Damn. I was like, I ain't know I did all that. I mean, I had never seen them types of thefts before in all my life. I'm like, what kind of theft is that? I mean, I think that man found every theft in the book here and said, we're going to charge you that theft, that theft over there, that theft there, theft up high and theft below. I'll be home and me hemmed up. Forgery, first degree, second degree, third degree, four. I'm like, woo! You try to make sure some stick, and some did. It's something I would never believe nothing Holly said she did. No. I mean, some of mommy washing ass would have kept her out of jail. And she could have got free ding ding. I ain't encouraging ding ding before marriage. What I'm saying is she would have been outside frolicking in the streets with everybody else instead of trying to get out. I said, do go wash her ass. Or look at that cute baby in the back seat and be like, you know what? I think I need to change your diaper somewhere. And drove around the corner somewhere and put that baby across your lap and change the diaper. You say, yes, 3-year minimum mandatory on each count. Mine was 10. Georgia ain't playing. Every count had a mandatory 10-year. Minimum 1. So, with the misdemeanors and felonies, the charges is dependent upon your time. Like, a misdemeanor is a charge less than a year, punishable less than a year, and then a felony is a charge punishable at a minimum of a year and above. Either way, I thank God that I turned my life around, and I like to go home and sit on the side of my bed and talk to y'all on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So it's like, why do some people stay there? Sympathy. These fake victims love when somebody show them sympathy. People check on them. People want to know how they doing. They like I call it the energy that somebody gives them. He says, oh, hell to the no, laugh my ass off. I'm just one state away from you. Would you die? You must be, if you in Florida, Alabama, if you above, beside me or below me, summer mama, don't play with these folk over here. Don't play with them. If you in Alabama, Florida, South Carolina, Tennessee, don't do it. Don't do it. You gonna do something illegal, go to Chicago. They ain't gonna lock you up. I promise you. He said, I ain't gonna say, Ashley, why you block me over there? I'm a Mika supporter. I don't know about that. Whoever this is. Ashley Butler, right? None of it was worth it. Rather she freed or not. You said in Florida, you in Jacksonville, Florida? Hey, summer mommy. Just go to work and go home. Just go to work and go home. If you thought Georgia gonna take you through there, Florida would absolutely hide you below the ocean. And we'll never hear from you again. Never. Florida, I ain't for to play around in Florida. So the next thing for those those with the victim mentality is attention. They become the center of conversation. So when someone finds out that someone's gone through a traumatic situation, they do become the center of the conversation. You say, oh, I'm not going to say it. I was confused before I read your message wrong. Some of mama said, one thing I'm gonna say is I didn't snitch like Carlos Smith. He was on self. He did on self. Yeah, Carlos Smith snitched all over the place. And them new clippers, they're gonna be used. But I talk, me and Barbara, California ain't about to play with you neither. I think the only place they play with you is Chicago. I think if you gonna do some foolery, go to Chicago. They ain't got no care boys. They let folk out of jail. That's you know what? I think after minding Chicago's business, I am so happy that they lock people up in Georgia. This was my first time I was riding, and I was like, you know what? I have to be thankful that the judges do their job here in Georgia. Like, it's a safe place. It's not, I mean, like, I ain't saying that you could just, in the city of Atlanta, leave your car doors open. But what I'm saying is, if someone steal your car, they go to jail. If someone carjack you, they go to jail. If someone kills somebody, they go to jail. So you have to be thankful that your judicial system do their job. Because at first I used to be mad at the judicial system, but then I was one of these people out here breaking the law. But now that I am a law-abiding citizen, thank y'all for doing your job. Actually, y'all helped me sit down. He said, don't hold it against me. Now I see who you are. No worries. Well, who is playing victim? Shit, everybody. Everybody. There's some fuck out here with some real mental health disorders. He said, well, Georgia ain't playing that well. I'm from here. And I feel like Fulton County don't be caring. But I messed around and caught something out in Gwinnett. Man, Ashley, boy, let me tell you something, man. So, Fulton County let you sign yourself out of jail. You can bond yourself out in Fulton County, but not Gwinnett. Let me tell you about this time. I got caught up in Gwinnett County, Georgia. That's AKA I got time today, Georgia. I got time there. I got time. So me and my ex got into it out there. And it's my fault. I ain't gonna act like I didn't pull up and do what I did. I sure did pull up and do what I did and skipped off. Went to jail thinking I'm gonna sign my own bond. You right, Lou. Gwinnett County would chop your booty cheeks off and put it on a plate and give it to you. It's a had what Ashley Bummer said, hold on. Ashley Bummer said, had she did this anywhere else, it wouldn't even went this way. Listen, this is Ashley Bummer. We talking about the streets would have kicked in and had it went halfway that way anyway. Like if Georgia had been like, hey, we're gonna let you back out, the streets would have kicked in like immediately. Like that's why I was like, do these folk know that the people that run the streets don't care about paperwork? They don't care about no paperwork. All they heard was shot about to get out. What? No, man, they don't care about no paperwork. Let me go back to the Gwinnett County story though. So this was like right after COVID. We talking about like 21, 22-ish. And I did my thing at my ex house and went turn myself in. And I'm thinking, I'm gonna sign my own bond. And that was not the case whatsoever. So my bond was like $1,000. And I was like, hey, I'm asking, can I bond myself out? And then people looking at me like I'm speaking a foreign language. I'm like, so I'm calling the bond company. I'm like, okay, I'm noticing I can't bond myself. Can I and I mean like pay my own cash bond. So now I'm calling the bonding company. And I'm like, hey, I want to pay the bond. So for $1,000, I think like $1,200, it was like $120 to get out. All right, cool, nothing. They were like, no, someone got to sign for you. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. I want to sign my own bond. I know my debit card number. Y'all can handle your business. It's my card. It's me. I'm trying to get out. They go, no. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, cool. I got some properties. I'm gonna put up my house because I'm gonna come to court. Them people flat told me, no, you cannot bond yourself out of jail. Now, fun fact, I just cussed my sister out. My sister cussed me out. My sister called the jail, and I'm gonna tell you, I did make a video on Facebook of myself turning myself in, but it's archived because I had to lost it. It was a bad breakup. I had to lost my cookies. So I post a video. I ain't tell nobody I was pulling up. My sister called the jail. The jail made the phone call where it got on the phone. I answered the phone. Me and her arguing. I cussed her out. And now I got to call this same sister I done cussed out to sign my bond for me to get out of jail. So as you know, she let me sit for 7 whole days without a word from you. I'm like, hey, can you come get me? She what are you talking about? Like, hey, if you could just come get me. When I say Gwinnett ain't playing. So I talked to the judge, right? And I asked the judge, like, hey, I said, Can I sign my own bond? Now this judge old. When I say old, old. Like he looked like what's the man out KFC? Colonel Sanders old. This man got to laughing and pounding on the banister. He like, he said, "Did you hear that?" He looked at my address. He said, "Mackenzie, you far away from home, ain't you?" And then he got the laughing. He got the hitting the bailiff. He's like, "Did you hear what she just said?" Yeah, she signed her own, but he said, "Hey, you see that girl out there sweeping the hallway?" I said, "Yeah." He was like, "Yeah, she been here a whole year off suspended license. Cause won't nobody sign her out of jail." Man, I just like, man, this is wild work. So I started fasting and praying because the food didn't have no flavor. I lost weight. I was fasting and praying. And my sister finally heard God let my sister hear my prayer. She came and bumped me out of jail. So Gwinnett, I ain't playing. Georgia, not playing. But Gwinnett County, don't do it to you. Don't do. He said, "Oh, I know Clayton County don't play either." Yeah, hey, you got me up here exposing myself, Ashley Boy Mom. He said they sure will. Miss Barbara said, "Well, with Carla having all the fraud, he would have to have a person who would clean, no record, and proof of where bail money coming from for it." Miss Barbara, the crazy part is Chicago ain't got no cash bars. They probably look at him like, "Oh, you're not a threat," and let him back outside. It said, read my comment, please, up there. Hold on. Let me find it. I ain't saying that. Hold on. You said your comment up here. You said, "Well, who would play a victim?" I read that one. You probably got to retype that bad boy. Retype it for me. I ain't saying it. I'm sorry for not seeing it. It said the cab in Fulton County go look easy, but everywhere else is hell no. F around to find out. You right. Miss Summer Mama said, "Right, Miss Barbara, they keep thinking Carlos about to take custody of little Emil, but he not getting him because he don't have a job and he has multiple felonies and had." Well, the problem ain't the felonies, is that he ain't got no job and no place to stay. you got to have that to be considered a stable parent. Or at least you got to have something in your name. It said as the woman says, he want to be able to get Amir for sure if this girl get out, shaking my head, being that he's still heavily involved with his mother killer. It's crazy. What up, Brittany? As the woman said, I was praying he make Amir his first priority, given his mother's daughter, yes, kids. Hey man, if he wasn't first priority before she left, he probably won't be now. It's unfortunate though. Ashley Ball mom, and they so damn ignorant because they had posted a photo, but why not Carson? They were trying to be funny. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. Um yeah, what's funny, Ashley Ball mom, let me tell you how jacked up Fulton County is, right? So wow. I got locked up. My son about 16 or 17 months old. And I got out. And I let the school knew I went to jail. So the school knew because my mom started taking my son to school. And I was gonna volunteer at the school. And I let them know these are my charges. This has nothing to do with kids. I just want to volunteer in my son's school. So Fulton County did not lift the warrants for my arrest, right? So I done gone to jail, bonded out, and they did not lift the warrant. So I go to Clayton County. Ashley Boy, my dear from you. I go to Clayco to get my background rent. And as I'm sitting there in the chair, I see a police officer cover the front door. I'm not thinking much into it. I'm just looking. And then this other door flies open and says, "Miss Kenzie, we need to speak with you for a minute." And I'm like, "For what?" All I'm trying to do is get my background rent so I can turn it into a school. So I can, play patty cake with the little children. I get back there. They're like, man, you have a warrant. And I'm like, what you mean? I got a warrant like I just got out. He's like, yeah, in Fulton County. They read the charge. And I'm like, but I just bonded out. The man asked me for the bond paper. I said, who walks around with that bond paper? He said, listen, while you being an asshole, Fulton County is known for not lifting the warrants for your arrest after you go to jail and bonded out. Man, I got to crying in that back room. I booed like a baby. I'm like, well, shit, get out. I don't want to go be in here with y'all neither. I said, can you drive me to Fulton County? I said, because it's going to take them 12 years to come get me. They were like, we can't. I like, why not? I like, just drive me straight to their jail. Because Clay County is just bad at Fulton County. So they let me call my attorney back there. My attorney's explaining to them, hey man, she done bonded out, blah, blah, blah. We can get y'all the paperwork. He said, unfortunately, she still got to go to jail. So I had to go to jail on charges I had already bonded out on. Like when I say the judicial system is jacked, it is. When I say if you ever get out of trouble, just stay out of trouble. Just stay out of trouble. I mean, that was the worst episode of my life. I mean, Clay County was dumpster juice trash. I was so hurt. I had to go see the Clay County Ashley Bummer. I was so hurt. I was so hurt. So now y'all be asking me to read all these judicial paperwork, and I'm like, I've seen enough. Yeah, I'm like, go read the paperwork. I've seen enough legal paperwork to let me and everybody in these chats a lifetime. All these see nothing else. All I see is jail, jail. When I started reading that girl paperwork, I see prison, jail, prison, jail, jail, prison. Orange jumpsuit, blue jumpsuit, gray jumpsuit. Using butter for your hair. Like, you got to keep in mind, I'm traumatized. I was in there using butter for hair grease. She gonna learn about all them tips and tricks in jail. Like, like, I don't want to read their paperwork. For Deja, you just don't know what you did to yourself. I'm just glad I didn't go that far, but I did go far. I just didn't go that far. Like, your kind of crimes, not my kind of crimes. Those kind of crimes, I try not to do those and won't be part of those. I'm good. You said, well, damn. That nigga cried that day. Oh my goodness. Because I kept trying, like, why is this big ass police officer covering his door? Like, what is going on? I'm thinking somebody did something at the courthouse. Why is Hole covering the door? He's covering the door to make sure I don't run. Because I'm going to be honest with you. And they yelled, like, we got a warrant for your arrest. I probably would have went through that front door. And catch me if you can on the gingerbread man. And that would have been it. Yes, big Brit. Like, I'm dead ass. I use butter for hair grease in Fulton County jail. I was in that brain of my own hair. The girl like, you gotta do cornrows? I'm like, yeah, but I'm bored. Now I'm doing my hair in different types of way. Yeah, I was in that brain hair and everything. Yeah, and I with y'all. I done learned my lesson now. What's up, gossip and giggles? Listen, Ashley, boy, mom, Fulton County Jail. I showered with my shoes on. on. Here's my Queen Latifah. Yeah. He's a gossip. Hey, she's making our rounds. Yeah, girl. That was a time. That was a time, man. Listen. I can remember them screaming trays up. Like, you gotta understand every time but they done changed that uniform now. When I see them doo-doo brown outfit, Dookie Brown police officer, all I hear is trays up. If you've been through what I've been through, you won't be outside shooting at 9:06 in the morning. Hell no. Like, they think she finna goddamn she just somebody. Nah, she in there using hair grease butter for hair grease. She in there doing her edges right now with butter. Don't you worry. They in there, everybody period come on at the same damn time because we done synced up. Like this ain't no fun. He said highly a yellow. Man, she could be a yellow, baby blue, white, blue, orange. Yeah, as long as you know, you somebody so set it off. Yeah. And braid and hair. Man, I had a little Mexican, I had a Mexican girlfriend in there buy me shit. Cause my commissary hadn't hit my card yet. That was a wild time for me. And it gets even wilder. So I'm talking to my son on the phone, and he about 16 months. So they done told my son I'm going on vacation. They told him I'm going to Disney World. So he asked me about Disney World. I'm like, he ain't my man. I'm like, hey baby. He said, you in Disney World? I'm like, yeah. He said, you see Mickey Mouse? And I like, yeah, I did see Mickey Mouse. I saw a whole rat on my paper. Yeah, I saw who snitched on me on my paperwork. I'm like, when I say, man, they over there gassing the girl look like she did something big. Nah. Nah, like when you gotta tell your child that you did in the world and you saw Mickey Mouse over the phone. Like you come on. Come on, man. Y'all stop gassing that girl look like she did something great. Nah. Because she ain't gonna be able to tell them kids she ain't Mickey Mouse at Disney World forever. Like you be like, where are you, mommy? SeaWorld. What you gonna do? Switch location? Well, as one was like, ain't nobody trying to do time. I don't care what nobody. Hey, listen. And what was jail is jail. That's it. Like they act like she did like some type of Hilton hotel or something. No, your rights and liberties are out the window because you want to have a victim mentality. You started some mess with somebody and said, you know what? I want to be a victim. And that's what blows my mind about people with that mentality. You want to be a bully, right? Because that really what Shouter was. And it's a bunch of women like that. You out here poking and prying at somebody. And then when you find out Shouter got hands, because I'm going to tell her, somebody that there like Ramika got hands. I wouldn't fight her. She got hands. They got wind. Somebody that move like that got wind. Like they can go. And then when you finally meet her, and she ain't even trying to fight you, you want her to fight so you can do something to her. And then when it's time to pay the price for your behavior, you a victim. No, you're not a victim. You a villain. You a villain. So, huh? I thought you said something. Oh, next up is excuses. Oh my lord. The excuses they were given for this young lady's behavior is astonishing and it's the most wildest thing I ever heard in all my life. Even just when you listen to just people outside of her. When you're dealing with folk that's narcissists and all that, they got people that enable their behavior. And they'll say things like, you know how such and such is, or you know, they don't mean no harm by it. That's just how they is. And I'm like, no, that's how they is to you. They got to respect me over here. And that's what happened with that little girl. They really screwed her up by making excuses for her behavior. Like, and it's worse now that I'm getting a big picture of older women that's excusing it. Like we ain't talking about no women in their 20s excuse. We talking about women that's pushing 50 and halfway through their 50s, making this girl think that she some big badass for shooting an unarmed woman. Like ain't nothing badass about that anyway. That's real punk behavior. Like if you scared, go to church. What say some mama say, and why the story changed at least 4 times? Because they liars. That's that victim mentality. Like, if you did what you did, if you really did what you did and you really a victim, your story is gonna stay the same each time. It's not gonna keep veering to the left, veering to the right. It ain't gonna keep spinning around in a circle. It's gonna stay in the same place. And my issue with people with victim mentality is if you don't face your problem, how do you get well? How do you get well if you don't face your problem? So the excuses of, well, what was she supposed to do? Get in her car, leave. That's what she's supposed to do. Like, they didn't stop making guns when they made hers and mines. It's just that I'm old enough to have emotional intelligence and forethought. Like, you're supposed to have some forethought. When you got a child there, like, she endangered her own child. Ashley Boy mom says, Miss, I would never, but yet they want her to. Hold on. I hate this dollar sign here. Let me pull up my screen over here. What'd you say? Let me get down to the bottom. Until somebody comment. I can't read it. Hold on. Hold on. I'll move down. Dang on it. Your screen wild work. All right, I'm finna get down there and read your whole comment, Ashley, by mom. Okay. Is it Miss I would never, but yet they want her to be innocent. Ain't nothing innocent about shooting an unarmed woman. Talking about she feared for her life. How? Like, how? Tell me how. Like, the best thing you could do is leave. And you know what? That's the most gangster thing that can happen. Like, I was listening to this man today who had been in prison. And while he was in prison, he's seen so much death. He's seen somebody die with a phone call, somebody die with a piece of chicken. And he was like, the most gangsterest thing you can do, he said he got older, and walk away from that situation. And that's what this young lady should have done, was walked away. We as adults, instead of acting like you just gotta win every fight, walk away. Like, in person. I ain't finna go back and forth with you. I ain't finna argue with you. I ain't gonna let you put your hands on me neither. But I'm going to get away from you because I know what I can do. But am I going to risk uh jail and using butter for hair grease and raw potatoes and cornflakes? Do I want that? No. A lot of these women ain't done no crime. That's why they don't mind. That's why they be talking all this trash about what they would and would not do. Such as this young lady. She ain't done no real crime. This was the first real crime she done. And now she's seeing what it is. She trying to act like it's nothing. Oh no, it's something. As the ball mama says, right. That's thinking of an old lady level, all because they don't want to fight. Look, we got nobody want to fight, but you don't kill someone assuming or thinking you gonna get beat up. They got to produce the weapon. I mean, they got to. And again, when you have a child in the mix, that little boy was in the back seat. Now, me as a mom, I try to diffuse the situation when my son is around. Because even though he's almost an adult, I still don't want him to be traumatized in seeing things like that, or even seeing me or me doing it to somebody. So you're supposed to diffuse it. That's what grown women do. But we ain't dealing with grown women. We're dealing with grown women that like to fight, keep it going. And then when somebody clap back, they turn around and be a victim and all that. So I can't stand it. Like, it bothers me. Some of mom say it's also that she was blocked in live for me, as if we have an air view. Let me tell you something. Your car can be blocked in, but your legs work. Your legs work. You could grab that baby and, like, again, go to what's that restaurant up there? White Castle. It's the excuses. Again, we're at the excuses for bad behavior. And that's not gonna help. It's not gonna get her out of trouble. And if you outside of her, you dealing with people, and if you got children, you making excuses like that, that means you're creating sorry behind adults. And next thing is control. With the victim mentality is control. They use guilt to control each other. Like, they've been trying to guilt this whole case. Like, see, she's a mom. She got to take care of her kids. So was the mother that lost her life. So is the mother that lost her daughter. It's a bunch of moms affected by this, including the murder suspect's mom. Like, that's somebody got to raise that little boy. Somebody, I mean, you got to keep my age is a you know what. Ain't nobody 60 something or 70 something years old trying to take care of a little person. And it ain't like they don't love them. It's just that, man, that's like a reboot. That's a start over. So yeah, when y'all out here doing all this stuff and playing victim, man, it don't work well. Cause one thing about it, you gonna answer for your sins. You gonna answer for what you did wrong. And the only person you can't lie to is God. God saw everything that happened that day. He saw the conversations. He heard the stuff we did not hear. It says, look, Carson probably got PTSD from them loud shots. He probably jumped in his sleep. Um, being so young, he probably don't really know what happened. But I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want that around my child or the spirit. In fact, uh, or the spirit that come with it. Death is the spirit of death. When you open that door, you can't control where it go. He knew their motives and their intentions too. Yeah, that's why this stuff is heading in this direction. Also, I've been saying this for a while. Black magic. Um, there's no way two judges should have been like, yeah, she's not a threat to society. How comes? Shooting at 9:06 in the morning with people outside, you are a threat to society because you didn't care if you shot someone else. You said, yep, and Freemasonry. Yo, it's a lot going on with that. For them judges, in this case, to be ping-ponging back and forth like that, that's a spiritual fight. And it's all over the place. Because I was shocked that some of this stuff was getting, like, especially the appellate court to reverse it. I was in shock. I was in total shock. And next up on my thing is identity. Pain becomes a personality. I've seen so many people, they use this as a way to define them. Now I'm not saying that stuff don't really happen to people, but some people use that pain and make it identity. And I'm gonna use child molestation and SA. A lot of people that has been touched as a child, they wear that part of their life as a part of their identity versus it just being an event that has happened. Um, and some of these people, they're doing crime and stuff right now, and it's because they wear that as an identity. And when things happen to these people as children, so a lot of them, it feels like it gives them a right to go out here and do what they've done. And like I say, we're talking about Cordasia, but truth be told, something happened to her as a child, and she has the mentality that she has the right to take life, to have this kind of control. And that's kind of like a God-like complex to me. Like, you kind of think you're God, and that's not going to work well. But as the woman said, roots of everything ties to the court. Yeah. But what was funny is I wasn't going to go too deep into that, but let me tell you, it's three different kinds of courts. And people got to understand that. You got the physical court, which is the physical courts, which is the judicial system. You have spiritual court. So God is a just God. So when we're praying and we're out here living our life, their spirits recording what we're doing, and they're going back to God. So in this case, if y'all have read Job, and at the beginning of Job, it says that the devil or Satan, either or, is going back and forth, right? Because when I read it, I was like, going back and forth talking to who? Satan goes back and forth talking to God with cases. So he pleads a case, going, hey, God, because God is the just judge. And he go, listen, I'm gonna use myself. Eddonis been down here doing XYZ, 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 XYZ. Can I touch her? Jesus is my advocate. And he advocates for me. He be like, well, she prays, she asks for forgiveness. She's trying to change her life, blah, blah, blah. And then God goes, okay, yeah, yeah, nay. That's the same thing. So these people that work for the judicial system supposed to work for God. Okay? It's in the Bible that the police, the judicial systems, these people supposed to work for God. Not with the lowercase g, the uppercase G, Jehovah. Okay. So these people that are sitting in these benches, that are doing all this cricket stuff, when they leave this planet, they get to talk to their boss, which is God. And they're supposed to do his job. Now they're not doing his job, but he tell them what to do in the physical plane. So when they don't do what they're supposed to do, right? And we're going to use Cordage's case right here. If them judges do not do what they supposed to do in Cordage's case and they put her back out on the street, the next level judicial system is street justice. Take it how you want to take it. If you don't like it, I didn't write the rules. There's 3 different court systems. That is the ultimate court system. Then you have the judicial court system. And then if you don't get it there, when you get out here on these streets, your judgment waiting on you. So a lot of folks, I didn't get upset about the potential of her being released because you don't know what God got waiting for her when she get out the building. You please understand that a lot of people have gotten their justice and it just doesn't look the way they think it should look. Like, it's plenty of people who don't lost their children out here and they have the expectation of the person going to prison for life, right? Because that's the usual expectation. You take my family member, you got to go. Okay? Rain, sleep, hell, slow, you got to go. Typically, the person goes to jail. Now, in the cases of these people not going to jail, something happens to them out here in these streets, and it's called street justice. So that means if the judge failed at their job, yeah, what? God like who? Satan. I did issue judgment. So you go ahead and do your thing. Sorry for him. Like that really how it go. Like once God into a judgment, it's up. When God into that judgment, the devil got the door. When you open the door for the devil, he's gonna come in and do what he do because you open the door. So a lot of y'all gotta understand Cordasia opened the door for Satan to come in her life and take her through there. You ain't got to worry about her. You ain't got to, and the people that's condoning it, it's in the Bible when you condone someone's wrongdoing, you get the same punishment as them. So a lot of times you just ain't got to say nothing. All you got to do is grab you some popcorn, sit back and watch, and don't laugh. Do not laugh. Because I've seen God do stuff to people, he allow it. Because when you open the door and you give a toehold for the devil, he gonna do what he do. I've seen some stuff happen, and I'm like, oh my. And it made me immediately go to God and go, did I wronged anybody? Please tell me so I can fix it. Because I don't want that to happen to me. And I'm happy. Like, I don't go around here doing stuff to people. Because I know that opens the door for the devil to come in my life and start wrecking stuff. I try not to give him no kind of room over here. Oh, go back to the chats. I don't mean, hold on. So, Mom, you got face turquoise speaker shape. I don't know what that means. Ashley boy, Mom, it said, wow, that's deep there, Eddonis. I believe this wholeheartedly. Some remind me, yep, you better separate yourself. Hey, Ashley Barmore, you have people working for the devil and people working for God. That's what we do. It's double side. In this case, you want to have to do. Because them folk doing their thing on that side, and then these people on this side need to start praying too. But one thing I do know, when you open the door, like when I told y'all about my time and I did that little thing right there, that was one of the worst times of my life. When I say everything I touched fell after I stole that money, everything I touched went straight to hell. Nothing was working for me. When I said nothing was, it was like a cloud over my head for almost, well, it wasn't even a decade. It was like 5, 6 years. Like it was wild work. So I know when you do something wrong, you gonna pay for it. I just try to stay out the way. Yeah, as Walmart said, well, I'm gonna go back up to the part. Some mama said, I don't want no parts of that food in there. I don't want no part neither. As the Walmart said, you can't and not supposed to take a life you didn't give. You tell a lot of folk don't know that you can kill somebody without using a gun. Yeah, it's other forms of murder too. Envy is a spirit of murder. Murder is taking someone's life. So when you envy someone, you want their life. Because see, jealousy is okay, I said it backwards. Jealousy is wanting what someone has. Envy is the process of taking. So envy, jealousy, and murder are in the same boat. Could never be jealous of anybody because that's killing them. That's murder. When someone is jealous, and that's a lot of these victim mentality people, they have the spirit of jealousy. And it took me a while to kind of figure it out. So a person that has the victim mentality, they don't possess a real personality. Everything is made up because they derive what they want from being a victim, which is attention, control, money, sympathy, the whole nine. And they don't want to come out of it because once you come out of being a victim, you're not going to get the sympathy. You're not going to get the handouts. You're going to have to stand on your own. Ashley Barmore said, and to make them feel okay with what she did, like to say she was protecting her baby, shaking my head, protecting her by baby by who from who though? What's the thing? We're talking about people that's to me is at a certain age in their life that I wish they could change, but the odds of them changing are not that great. The odds of changing are not that great. Once people start hitting their 40s, especially their 40s, and you start getting over to the 50s, that's who they are. When they say she was protecting her baby, the best way she could have protected her baby was not being in Chicago, was being at her home with her baby. Because the majority of this movement is mothers. So for me, I'm not taking my son to a place that's dangerous, first. And then secondly, to fight someone. The best way to protect your children and family is not bringing them to the smoke. I think this planes in Chicago is like, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour. You took your child there and put him in danger, excuse me. You did that. And they should have charged her with it too. Now I know in Georgia, she would have called child endangerment. She would call this child endangerment, cruelty to children. She would have had a slew of children charges. So, like I say, Georgia, Chicago ain't doing it right to me. Ashley Boy Mama said, not Ashley Boy Mama, some of Mama said right. Um, right, because Messy Paris is 54 years old and still out here lying, yelling, and surrounded, sounding stupid. That's a shame. So, Mama, that is a shame. I have never, well, I've never. This is like when I tell you this movement right here got me thinking, got me a whole new bucket list of things not to do as I get older. I don't ever want to be 100 years old online yelling and cussing about something on social media. I don't want to do that. These folk, when I think of 55, 56, 57, you almost won 100. Once you break over 50 and start getting 55, 56, 57, and start busting down 60, you really almost 100. I ain't no way I'm gonna be on here yelling, hollering. I'm thinking these women is Barbara said she is pathetic. It's sad. And I was mad all that time. And once I started hearing about these women, I just was like, wow, really? Wow. It makes me appreciate the women I grew up around, the ladies that were ladylike, um, that knew how to talk, form sentences, that could articulate their arguments. Because basically, this is an argument. This is what attorneys do. They break down arguments and go back and forth. I was just happy to be around these kind of people. These women right here, I'm sorry, they can't teach these younger women nothing because they don't know nothing. And I know they're gonna be offended by this. Like, how can you teach the younger women about how not to be fast in the pants, how to conduct themselves as women so men can respect them? How do you navigate through life? And what I'm seeing is some women that got stuck at maybe 15 or 16 years old mentally, and that's it. Like they got stuck in the 11th grade. And we dealing with old ass teenagers. That's why I'm at. These some old ass teenagers walking around here, and it's pathetic. It's pathetic. They can't teach Quadesia nothing. Like nothing. Like I ain't know if you are a friend to that young lady, the first thing you supposed to tell her to stay off the internet. Like just go sit down, stay off the internet. Don't say nothing, don't type nothing, nothing. They encouraging the foolishness. Like, come on, y'all. Even though I'm not rocking with what she did, her life is just as over. Not in the same way as Ramika, but to me, hers is worse. You got to wait until you die. Like you gotta wait. You can't go back to school. Black Queen Map said that lady evil. Black Ashley Bummer said, I'm shocked at the ages of most of them on here who cutting up. Listen, Ashley Boy, I was completely in total. My flowers was gasted when I found out these women is pushing 50. 50 some years old, pushing 50 or 50 some years old. The worst part is you're gonna sit in prison, right? And even if you got a degree in prison, you can't do nothing with it. If you got a trade in prison, you can't do nothing with it. All you got to do is wait to die. When people go to prison for murder, they're literally that to me, that's real purgatory. If y'all want to talk about purgatory, that might be the real purgatory. You go into prison and you sit there and you just gotta wait for your body to give out. Nah. Who advised you? Like if you want to choose violence, she could have gotten the military. Somebody should say, hey, you know what? You a perfect candidate for the military. Go to the army. Get a baby to dad, get a baby to the daddy, and you get on and go to the army. That was somebody should have told that little girl. You go to the army. She would have been out. She could have whooped all the ass she want and shot all the guns she want right there in the military. No problem. That's what I mean by some of these older women that should have been guiding these little girls. Ain't no way we got grown women okaying someone going after someone about a nigga. All the penis walking around Chicago, you got to fight over that one? Like, nah, that is not player. That's not player at all. Like, these women they wouldn't wreck their families. They wouldn't ruin their kids' lives. Why are you encouraging this girl? Why you making her think it's okay that she just ruined her kid's life? No. Summer Mommy said, I got her picture up on my community wall. She looks just like how she sound. I saw that, and you know what? When I saw her picture, I heard her voice too. I heard that lisp. She got a hell of a lisp. As the boy must say, common sense ain't so common. Black Queen man say, Ashley, I would wonder is she mentally off to take a life that lean on the car, talking on the phone. Black Queen man, some folk demon possessed people. They're not real people. Like y'all do need to understand that there's some people walking around here that ain't real people. Like Shada really could have just wheeled herself over to the devil and kept it pushing. And I hope she didn't do that. But the way it's giving that. Because she doesn't have, to me, the mental ability to be like, you know what? I was wrong right there. Or even in some people cases that have to defend, like they're like the police officers. These police officers, they gotta actually shoot somebody. Them police officers be jacked up. Like they don't just shoot somebody and go home and lay down in their bed next to their husband and wives, like nothing happened. Them people really end up drinking, doing drugs, and everything else. It actually ruins their life. And majority of the time, that type of stuff happen. They really do be protecting themselves. It's a small case where the police officer is wrong, and those cases do get broadcasted where they actually just point blank committed the act of murder. But a majority of the ones they have had to protect themselves because they want to go home at the end of their shift. They don't be right in the head after killing somebody. So for her to act like it was nothing, yeah, she got something going on. She got some real stuff going on. Hold on, I'm going through the comments. Ashley Boy Mom said, that's the problem now. They think this is the military, the way she whipped that weapon out. She could have went to the Air Force. They got a shortage in the military now. They don't raise the enrollment rate to 42. I want to join. Like dead ass. Like I miss my time for the Air Force. I want to go fly me some planes. Like she could have just joined the Air Force. They would have took her. I promise you they would have took her. She could have went to the police academy. Like there were plenty of ways you could carry a gun every day and shoot. You ain't have to do it at 906. Fool. He said they're all hard-headed AF. Let me go down. It said Black Queen Matter said, Ashley, if it was a fight, she didn't have to pull out a gun to shoot, to let alone shooting after she saw her fall. Big Barbara said they were on demon time along with using witchcraft. Absolutely, Miss Barbara. When I saw this boy throw devil horns in one of his photos, I was like, oh, I know what time it is. And he put the 666 over his eyes. And I was like, why you rock with the devil? And guess what? It didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't work. He said, the Bubba Eye Man posting workout video. She should have been with him working out instead of shooting. Yeah. I mean, you got to keep in mind, some folk, you weak-minded people. The victim mentality. They use the victim. Ashley Barmon said that's the point where Mika is supporting, saying, shaking my head. That little fight shouldn't have made her pull out a weapon. When you're dealing with folk, Ashley Barmon, we're not dealing with people that's they got a soul or if they do got one, they don't think the way we think. People that ain't got nothing to lose that will help you lose everything. That's why I'm very particular about who I talk to, who I hang with. I listen to them talk. I listen to them talk about their family, especially now that we're in our 40s, and their family, what they done in their lifetime, things like that. And then I determine if they are eligible to be in my life. But people as young as Ramika ain't learned that. They didn't have the time. Like when I told y'all about my jail going, that was right before I turned Ramika age. I was like 27, 28, 29, 30. I was young. She didn't live long enough to get the grasp the concepts of boundaries. And people with victim mentality do not respect boundaries. They use guilt tripping and everything else to get what they want. So she didn't live long enough to learn the lessons that we learned. And then unfortunately for Cordesia, she gonna learn them lessons in prison. I think that's like to me, that's the worst. The part of trying to make prison seem so glamorous. The women are trying to make what she did seem glamorous wouldn't last in prison. They wouldn't. Like they just wouldn't. Like I'm listening. Was someone must say her teeth are a whole nother subject matter. Who you talking about? Little schizo. Me and Barbara said whoever they went for the spell told them not to mess with Romika. Well, first of all, Romika got a praying mama. That woman right there, she know God. Romika mama, that lady know God. Like it I know God too, and I trust God, but I ain't all the way healed. Like it's certain parts of me that ain't healed yet. I don't think I could stand 2 feet straight and first of all talk on camera. Uh have gone through the social media thing and then be like, we're not gonna go back, we're not gonna fight them, we're just gonna stand still. That lady know God. And she's instilled that in her children too. Now I don't know them personally, but I can tell a mother that has instilled certain things in their children. Because she has more than one daughter out here. And the other two are moving with grace. So that means Romika will move with grace too. So for me, if I had to put myself in her shoes, we've been sliding all over the place. It would have been a whole war. So she definitely knows God. She's in a more healed place because she's older. And I would like to be around older women like that because they can guide me to where I need to go. Because they've gone through some things that I haven't gone through. And they've seen some things in life that got them where they can stand still. I'm not healed enough yet to stand still. Now that I recognize that, I will be talking to my therapist about that this weekend. How to stand still. Because that lady standing still. She ain't budging. She ain't moving. She ain't flying around on YouTube, Instagram, nothing. She ain't said nothing. That means she's praying. And she's putting everything in God's hands. And that's about the strongest thing you could ever do is relinquish the debt to God. When I started like trying to study forgiveness, and that's part of forgiveness too. When you just give it over and walk away, it's a verse in the Bible where the disciples, Jesus talking about them having to forgive. And I'm gonna tell you, I agreed with them. They were like, he was like, you gotta forgive. And they like, how? He said, have faith. And I'm like, excuse me? Have faith. You gotta forgive somebody 77 times, 77 times, 77 times, 77. Forever, infinite. So for God to forgive you of your sins, you got to forgive somebody else. So she can't hold the score. So I can tell the way she stand that she's giving it to God. I ain't saying that it don't hurt. 'Cause I ain't lost a child and I don't want to ever feel that. But I've lost family members. I lost my mom and my dad. So I do understand death. I just don't understand it in that capacity and don't want to. But she a lot stronger than me. I don't know if I could have stood still 87 days. You see what I'm saying? She stood still for 87 days. I don't think Eddonis could have did that. I would have had to pray 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times a day. I want to make sure that my car is not in the direction of Des Plaines. I have to make sure that I ain't on whatever expressway it is, head to her house. Like certain people got it. And that's somebody I would love to talk to. Would you say Ashley Balmar right? She sure does. Because I think about Romika mom and son like I think about it as try to put myself in her shoe. Oh no, Donna's probably be twitching somewhere en route to that girl house. Like that. That's why I'm like, she's stronger than me. Like when I think about the updates and the stuff on this case, and I be thinking like, okay, I am online. I am talking about God online, but I have to be honest with myself and the people. I don't think I'm at the place that Miss Tina is. And that's because she's lived longer. She's lived longer. She's seen some things. I would love to possess that stillness. That stillness, something else. That I ain't never seen no still like that before. Like, and I mean by still, we talking about she a different type of metal. You know what I mean? That's different right there. Now, if my mom was alive, my mom would have that same poise. Cause I seen folk do stuff to my mom. I'm like, you ain't gonna cuss them folk out. She's like, I'm finna go pray for them. And my mama's favorite term was pray for them niggas. And I believe that's what Miss Tina doing. And she's praying for niggas. That because she kind of reminded me of my mom the way she just quiet. When a woman get quiet like that and you done did something like this, woof, she praying something over there. She over there praying. Like she praying. Me Barbara said, just keep living. Me Barbara, I'm trying. Me Barbara, I'm trying to live. I want to make 66 and beyond, me Barbara. I promise you I want to make your age. It's a blessing, me Barbara, for you to be 66 years old. Trust and believe. That's a blessing. You blessed and you highly favored. I tell you that right now. I'm trying to live. Some mom said she's in a big example out here, and Auntie La Leslie. Yeah, it just I want to possess that steel. Whatever kind of steel they got, let me know, Miss Tina, what kind of steel you are. I want it. I want that in my life. Like I said, it reminds me of my own mama. Cause I know for a fact, if I had to go through this right now at 40 some years old, I wouldn't make it. I wouldn't make it. Oh no. Not with the way Chicago law, man. I'm like, oh, you're not gonna lock me up. Slide to the left, slide to the right, crisscross. Everybody shake your hands. Yeah. Automatically sliding, grooving, baby, tonight. Yeah, we pulling up. Like, so no. Phew. Shots out to you. That's all. There's shots out to you. Um, Next up, you said, I'm not forgiving Holly. Simon Mom, let me tell you something. I'm not going to hell for what somebody else did. I'm letting you know that now. And it's not for you to forgive no way, because she didn't do nothing to you. Like someone, that girl ain't done nothing to your family. It ain't for you to forgive her. And you ain't nobody God, Sean. I got to tell you, you ain't nobody God. You don't want to talk to God. You be like, oh yeah, you didn't forgive that girl online. I ain't going to hell for that. I mean, Bar say they already said they're going to talk when it's all over. And that when they supposed to talk. 'Cause talking before it's over is wild work. I think all of them should just, keep doing what they doing in the group and don't go too far. You said Holly and Carlo made me backslide. Can't nobody make me backslide but me, shouted. Them two ain't for the city me nowhere that they got no AC. I'm straight. Yeah, because I'm a work in progress. Yeah, I'm definitely a work in progress. That's why I kept it real. Like, I don't know. I don't know. That was my sister cousin, aunt, niece. I don't know. I don't know if I can stand still. I'm gonna just be honest. I can't. I try, but I can't. I want to possess the steel. Um, Next up on my little thing though, because I've been rambling for a little minute. Social media rewards it. Hint, hint. We're on YouTube. Today, pain gets likes, crime videos, exposure stories, sympathy, cash apps, and endless trauma posting. Now that one thing I ain't never understood somebody crying and posting it. I don't think I'm gonna be able to understand that one. Like how you cry and then you post it. Like I tried it and I looked at the video. I'm like, I look dumb as hell. Like I was going through something like it, and I tried to record a video of my crying. I'm like, you know what? This looks stupid. And I was like, I'm not posting that weird stuff online. Because if you cry, how you record? Like, I'm saying, like you know, I'm like, nah, that's not the mood. That's not the mood. So they're celebrating Romika in September, like Leslie, and she wants me on her floor. What floor you talking about? Me Barbara. Like the floor of the hotel. Like I'ma figure it out. I'm a little slow. I'ma figure it out. Yeah, I would like to. I guess I really would like some kind of march, if especially if they let that girl out of jail. We need to go to Washington D.C. Just really just for the moms that lost their children in Chicago, and Chicago ain't done what they supposed to do. Especially like I said, I didn't know about that weird law that Kim Fox lady had out until someone told me that lives in Chicago, and I was like, man, that's wild work. So I just think that the citizens need to definitely stand up. Stand up, don't sit down. Ashley Balmont said, "Trust me, God got this. However it goes is in God's hand at the beginning and at the end of the day." Yeah. Yeah, I heard them prayed on this situation. I heard I had some of my dreams about it. And they not finna get away with them. I ain't never seen nobody do somebody dirty, especially one that got a praying mama, and nothing happened. Trust and believe. All you gotta do is just wait. Watch and pray. Just wait. Um, I done seen the sympathy cash outs before on my social media. I give to people, but God has to instruct me to give. And typically I give in person. So if I'm walking and see somebody that need help, or I don't know if I told you about this time I was downtown Atlanta and I was parking. There was a man sitting on the ground and he was in bad shape, health wise. He was in terrible shape. And I gave him $10. Why when I turned around, that man was gone. He was gone, y'all. Like I saw the man sitting on the ground. He wasn't no small guy. He was, I mean, he like he had swords and everything on his legs. I handed him $10. And I went back to pay my meter, turned around, that man was literally gone. So when I do give, it usually is in person. I remember my mom telling me, she's like, that might have been an angel. You was entertaining an angel. I was saying Florida Hotel. Okay, okay. Yeah, live with Barbara. I'm a little slow and I had a long day. So when I ready to come, I was like, on the floor of what? Yeah, yeah, and I feel like every year until they do something about they that crime up there, yeah, celebrate that girl every year. She said, I'm flying in for Meeks Day in September, Lord willing. Amen. Uh Someone say it's a joke, Eddonis, but most certainly pissed off what they did. Yeah, like I said, I don't when I seen what God do to folk, you ain't gotta worry about them folk. They gonna get it. Relationships. Some people, some of the victim mentality people weaponize victimhoods. And I know y'all done heard these terms before. You don't care about me. Everybody leaves me after all I've been through. I done been in breakups where them lines have been used. And I just kind of stare at them because I know it's fake. I'm like, oh man, like you do that with everybody. You don't care about me. I care about you, but I care about me too. I ain't gonna let you abuse me. That ain't how that works. That is not how this works. You don't get to do bully and foolish stuff, and then when somebody call you out, you want to cry and be like, don't care nothing about me. Everybody leaves me. I done heard all that, especially the everybody leave me line. I mean, I clapped back at one of my ears. I was like, shoot, that's because of how you act that way everybody leave. Fix it. As Bowman said, crime has gotten really bad. Um, shoot, we talking about Georgia or Chicago? I know Atlanta done got turned. And growing up here, it wasn't like this. So we had we had stuff going on, but it wasn't the way it is now. Lady said, my peace is sacred. Girl, yes. If it disrupts my peace, it costs too much. It costs way too much for that. Victim says family systems. Families may enable victim identity. It's always rescuing one person, never expecting growth, rewarding chaos. I've seen that with my own two eyes. And I had to remove myself. It's sometimes families feed the dysfunction. I realized that the people that enable the victim, the person with the victim mentality, or rewarding them for the chaos, they're just like them. So they can identify. He said, but that law doesn't apply to Holly because she's not pregnant anymore. I relied. Hey y'all don't know if that girl pregnant or not. Nobody knows if she really pregnant or not. And that between her and God. And it shouldn't have been out here. It's we're gonna talk about healing and accountability. So I had to take accountability for my behavior too. So I'm gonna tell you about when I decided to go to therapy. And no, I don't have any mental health going on as far as just no more than your normal trauma. And they say it's a prolonged grief disorder, which is grief. I don't know why they want to make it a disorder, but it's grief. So I ended up with a therapist. I had a homie that I've known since high school. And Shawty let me, when I was getting out of my domestic violent relationship, she let me live in her apartment rent-free for 90 days. And I don't like receiving help or asking, which that's probably a pride and ego thing that I have going on within myself. And I'm a very low person. If I call you a friend, we gonna ride out. That's the kind of person I am. You say somebody bothering you or did something to you, you can call me and we gonna ride into the sunset. So Shawty told me about a dude that got over on him. And she was hurt by it. And what I remember, I was sleeping in my box truck. Now, crazy part is during this part of my relationship, I owned the houses and they're all rented out. So that means I got places to stay. I just can't live there because someone else live there. So I'm sleeping in my truck. And she didn't know this until she asked me to do some work on her mom's house. So we over there talking, we're catching up because we hadn't talked in years. And that's how she ended up letting me get an apartment. And when I found out, dude did something to her, I was like, bet, we gonna ride. I was ready to ride. I was ready to gas up and we can ride and put up at her own house. Courtesy of me. And when she said, hey, I'm gonna pray for him, I knew I needed help. I was like, wait a minute. That's the advice I supposed to be giving to you. And I told her right then, I said, you know what? I'm gonna give you a therapist. And it made me sit back and think, like, that shouldn't have been my first fault. So I went and got me a therapist, and I told the therapist, I'm trying to find out, is it me or do these niggas? I'm gonna go ahead and just say it so it makes sense. I said, is it me or do these niggas got me fucked up out here? And she started laughing. I said, no, I'm really trying to find out. Is it me or do these people got me effed up out here? And after I started telling some of my life story, she said, hey, it's a little bit of both. And I was like, okay. So I had to first start telling the truth about what was going on. And then accountability. Once you because you got to tell the truth. If you're trying to get help, you got to keep it real. And that's why I say accepting accountability. And I did not have firm boundaries. He said Holly left the soap and the rag on September 8th. Ashley Boymore. I she should just went home and changed her drawers at least. Change the drawers. Had you stopped and changed your drawers, that would have fixed it. That would have fixed the whole problem too. But then if you had actually stopped and washed your ass and then change the drawers, y'all would have missed each other about an hour. If you stopped, wash your ass, change the drawer, change your child's pamper, feed the baby, cut baby shark on for him, this would have never happened by far for a couple hours. He said, Donnie said, let me think about this. Yeah, so how I got I wasn't in victim mentality. Um, so I don't want to be ever perceived as a weak ass nigga. So I ain't never just thought about walking around here crying out there about stuff that's been happening to me. I was more one of them people, I suppress it and move on. So I went to therapy, started learning boundaries, and start realizing, I can tell you no. I can say no. I can move about. I don't have to tolerate it. So that's kind of how I got through quite a few things. And yeah, for those with the victim mentality, that's definitely a personality disorder. I'm not a therapist, but it definitely falls up under NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. It's confirmed. I wouldn't spread all that. Little Chucky is a while back. Uh, oh, there you go. It's confirmed. I wouldn't spread that highly got rid of. Hey, we're not doing that about them folk kids. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. And by spreading it, you don't want to be a part of HIPAA. I'm not interested in a HIPAA violation. So I'm not going to spread that. I don't know if it's true. Don't want to know. Don't have a need to know. That between her and the good Lord, if that's what she chose to do. Okay, so what to do if you know someone like this that has a victim mentality? So she really got rid of oh man, y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. I don't no, 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 no. No, no, not the baby, not the kid. No, 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 no. I love babies. No, not the baby. Be compassionate, don't enable, require responsibility, stop guilt trips, and encourage help. Now, if I'm dealing with somebody that's a victim mentality, I'm just not gonna be around them much. I don't have time. It ain't that I don't have time. It's just the person knows what they're doing, and they just can't work it off. This is off topic, but I wish black men would use their voice for Romika cases and more. Black Queens Matter. I thought about that with this case. That's the funny part that you mentioned that. Not many men are standing up. And we got to understand a lot of men today got issues with women, whether it's their mama or something like that. But not all of them. But I had not enough men have stood up and said, hey, this is not how men act. Hey, y'all, nothing. At least not to me. I seen maybe one video of a man that spoke outside of key. You got your keys that's pushing it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to keys. But outside of keys, I only seen one other man mention this situation. The rest of it, the men are in favor of Ramika losing her life. And I think that's some BS. But you're right though. It said I use the old confirmation of pregnancy. All right, so mama, let me tell you something. I just got finished telling you about my heyday of being razzle and dazzling out here. That's what the girl paying her to do. Understand it. She is paying for this woman to get her out of jail, hook, crook, or whatever. That's what you pay for. As an ex crash out, they've been out here razzling and dazzling in the streets. That's what I pay for. I pay for the attorney to find that shaded gray area for me to get away with my foolishness. That's the point. So if they got to use a fake pregnancy test, an old photo of her, or whatever to get her out of jail, that's what they got to do. That what Quadeja and her family pay for. If I already got an AI photo for her to look pregnant for her to get out, that's what they got to do. If she got to piss on the stick and be pregnant for her to get out, that's what they got to do. But that's just what they pay for. You pay for an attorney to negotiate your time. The court system, y'all, is a bargaining system. It's what happens when you go out here and you want to be a hot girl or a hot boy and you get caught. You get your peoples, which is an attorney, to holler at the peoples, which is the state, because the state the one that caught you, and you go, hey, listen, I know that crime I commit keep me 5 years, but you think they can give me 1 year? You think they can give me a slap on the wrist? You think they can give me some probation? What you think they can give me? And then you pay that attorney to negotiate on your behalf by any means necessary. If the police can legally lie to you, the lawyer can lie too. And that's what you paying them to do. Now, they don't call it lying, they call it arguing the law. But they ain't gonna just walk in and be like, hell yeah, she bust that girl across the head and she did a windmill. Oh, they're not gonna do that. Whatever can get what they want. That's why that lady kept filing appeal after appeal after appeal after appeal. It's like beating the court over the head until she started getting what she wanted. That's what she get paid to do. See, I understand it. Intros, I love your intro. Is that you rap? Yes, Summer Mommy, that is me rapping from 20 years ago. I do want to drop something new so the prosecutor can go up for it. Let me tell you something. I do believe you. Barbara, I do believe you that they're not going for it. That's why they filed the stay. They have to do this. This is what both sides got to do. Because these weird laws are in place and the chances of a lawsuit is high. The chances of Chicago having to pay both families is really high. That girl, if she have a baby in jail, I don't care what they keep telling y'all, she ain't pregnant no more. She can sue about her business being out there. Like that's not helping. If her rights have been violated by her health business being out here online, y'all are helping put money in her pockets. Y'all not helping. That's why I'm like, oh no, I ain't finna speak on that. She can sue for a HIPAA violation. Period. A pregnancy shouldn't have been out here, and if she did do away with the baby, that shouldn't be out here neither. So yeah, that's one. Two, I read the other day about the law that was put out that they're not housing pregnant women. That could be a violation of law if they don't let her out. If they keep her in there and they some fool chain her to the bed, that's a lawsuit. Violating her rights is a lawsuit. People got to understand you have the law. Your feelings cannot be involved in the law. Both parties, the prosecution and this appellate, was it lower court and the appellate court, they're both trying to protect the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago from paying out money. So guess what? I already found the law. I'm like, all right, bet. Oh, you gotta have this, you gotta have that, you gotta prove this, blah, blah, blah. Turn it in, bam. The appellate court, like, listen, this is a law. We're gonna overturn it. We're gonna get this out of our hand. We want this off our desk. They're like, all right, we're gonna overturn it. Kick it back down to the lower state. The lower state, like, okay, we can't just let this girl out of jail because the family can sue us. You see where this is going? The family can sue Chicago, the victim's family, and the suspect can sue Chicago, and both parties can possibly win. So, guess what they're gonna do when they hit that stay in lower court? They're gonna kick that shit up to the feds because they want it off their desk. They are protecting the city of Chicago, not Ramika's family. It's all about making sure they ain't got to pay no money. So they looking at it like, man, we let this girl out, this family, and something else happens. Like, keep in mind, they let the little girl out, and something else happens. The family can sue Chicago and get paid. They don't want to pay nobody. They're going to kick it to the feds. And then whatever that federal court say, then it going down. That's where it's at. The judicial system right now is protecting Chicago, not the citizens, which makes Ramika and her family, they're not acting on their behalf right now. They're acting on their own behalf. Now, it just so happened to be benefiting them now that the girl locked up. It does benefit them that the girl locked up. But at the end of the day, both parties can sue Chicago. Please pay attention to that. So, y'all out here, y'all keep talking about whether she's pregnant or not. Y'all gonna put some money in her pocket with that one. A HIPAA violation is a real violation. And whoever put that out, if it's the truth, they jacked up. And if they lie, she can sue. So either way, I wouldn't want to speak on it. And I ain't finna be the person that said it. That's why I keep telling y'all, nah, I don't know. I don't believe it. That's HIPAA violation. I keep warning y'all. Don't speak stuff you ain't seen or don't know or hearsay. I make sure that I have concrete proof or it came from a credible source. Or like I say, for me, the news anchor is a credible source. A court document is a credible source. But if you ain't seen no abortion paperwork, you ain't seen where she done got rid of a baby, you don't need to be out here talking about it. And if you did see it, you don't supposed to peek on it because that is her personal health situation. Y'all got to understand it. I know she a bum, but you still got to respect her rights. Y'all got to respect her rights to certain things being private. Do y'all want y'all if y'all actually did that, in life, would y'all want that online? Y'all wouldn't want somebody knowing that y'all got rid of y'all kids. I know I wouldn't, even though I haven't. However many kids I got, however many times I've been pregnant. But even if I did take that route, I would not want that plastered online. And y'all got to give somebody the same respect, just as if you wanted it. You don't want nobody know your health business. If you're pregnant, if you're not pregnant, if you up, down, sideways, give that girl the same respect, even though she ain't, give it to her. Exactly, Ashley Boy Monster. I just leave it, but until it comes out. Yeah, it'll come out, but shit, her ass still going to prison. He was too busy pillow talking to holler. All right, that what the listen. These men act like women with the pillow talking. No grown man, no woman should be laying that to a man that's gossiping. If you laying that to a Negro that's gossiping, you are in a lesbian relationship. That's all I got to tell you. You laying that to a woman. You lay that to a masculine, what is it? Not a stud. A stud is a masculine woman. Yeah, that's it. You laying next to a male stud. If you got a man in your bed, gossip and telling everybody business, that is a male stud. That's what you got. The judge denied her trying to seal her medical records, but I won't mention any more here. God saw them lies and threw her in the stop. Yeah, don't do it, some mama, because you don't know if that's true or not. You just don't know. Yeah, Black Queen Matter, yeah, nah. You gotta ask yourself a question. Like, I know I don't want no man gossiping and telling me other people's business. Don't be looking like, dude, why is you telling me this? Like, what they got to do with us? He really put that girl up to it because she boo-boo the fool slow. So, some people don't love pain. They love what pain brings. Attention, excuses, control. But healing starts when sympathy stops being enough. Um, yeah, that victim mentality, I can't go for it. That's not in my wheelhouse of things in life. I don't want to be around nobody that's doing it. Um, because what I understand that people go through stuff, but you can't let something that happened to you become your identity. Um, that's just that. Don't make it an identity. So what time is it? Yeah, 12:16, y'all. I done keep it with y'all about 2 hours. And I thank y'all for being around me while y'all listen to me ramble. He said, Muscle Man plays victim, y'all take up for me. That's a woman. Because I was like, I ain't never seen no man talk like that before. Facts, Black Queen. My Carlos is a hoochie mama. Yeah, he about to be in them hoochie mama shorts this summer. He definitely finna be twerking around Chicago. Good night, Nadine. So yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out to everybody. Shout out to Black Queen Matter for showing up. Shout out to me and Barbara, these my regulars. Me and Barbara, taking time to Terry, Summer Mommy, who else? Lou pulling up. Me and Freddie, Ashley Boy Mom. That drop them ranches and pink hearts in the chat, especially the ranches from me and Barbara, where she be getting folk up out the chat. And she be kicking them folks straight up out of here. Who else on here that be pulling up? I did do taking time too, right? Shout out to you. Y'all, my regulars. I thank y'all so much for pulling up on me. If I did not say your name, please do not be upset with me. Please don't. Please don't. I said Ashley Boy Mom. Ashley. Yeah, Ashley from Georgia. She's from Decatur. Where it's greater, but West Side is the best side though. Man, y'all, man, I really, really appreciate y'all. Like, share, subscribe. Oh, yes, y'all check out my cartoon, man. I really enjoy making them. I really enjoy making these cartoons. It's close to me rapping. So check it out. Like, share, everybody. We'll drop another one this weekend. It's gonna be episode number 4. And see y'all Tuesday for my lives, man. Peace out. Try not to get in trouble. Anybody drive safe. I'm laughing at y'all niggas. Yeah. Give it to me now. Y'all niggas real funny. Money Mafia, take it over. Yeah. We clocking. I'm your perfect lady, riding that black Mercedes. Set up your nigga, got him